Alright, so you all might remember not that long ago when Jason came over and showed us the stick effects and the kick effects. He also teased the head effects, which weren't complete at the time, but today I have the final version to share with you all. The idea behind the head effects is you have a gel which you stick to the head, and then a suction cup which you place on top of the gel. And from here you can use the different attachments to place onto the suction cup, which of course are the same attachments which are used for the stick effects and the kick effects, so it's a whole system that's interchangeable and everything works with everything. And I just showed it on the snare drum, but of course it sticks on any other head and also on the cymbals. Now this is pretty obvious and goes without saying, but there is some dampening going on when you place these on a drum or on a cymbal, which isn't a huge deal, but I did notice on the 12-inch tom that with the gel and the suction cup it sounds fine. But when I place one of the attachments on the suction cup, it just chokes the drum out completely. So I don't know if it's the size of the drum that matters, or the heads, or the tuning, or whatever, but that's just one thing to keep in mind. So with all of that being said, let's put these on some drums and cymbals and see what kind of sounds we can get. Alright, so first impressions. I know I said that it chokes out the 12-inch tom, but in a way it's kind of a cool thing because it turns it into a new instrument. It's not a 12-inch tom with a jingle on it, it's like a dead tambourine kind of sound, so you kind of have to play it differently, so there's that. And then second, with the shakers on the floor tom and the kick drum, it's kind of hard to hear them. The mic does pick it up on the floor tom. If I play it by itself, you can hear it just fine, but on the kick drum, if I solo the track, it's still very hard to hear. So in the big picture, the shakers do get covered up quite a bit, so let's move these around onto different drums and cymbals. Alright, so a few discoveries. With the jingle on the hi-hat, I noticed when you play with the tip of the stick, they do respond a little bit. But when you play with the shoulder of the stick, they really respond. So it's just like a hi-hat, you know, if you want a softer sound, you play with the tip. And if you want more, play with the shoulder. And then, of course, I put the kick effects on top just because I had them. But same thing with the ride cymbal with the shaker on it. You play it with the tip, and it responds a little bit, but then you wail on it, and it really starts to shake. So yeah, those are the Tru-Tuner head effects, and if you're interested in checking these out for yourself, you can head to the link down below and enter promo code rdavidr to get 10% off any Tru-Tuner product. But as far as how these sound, the jingle definitely stands out more than the shaker. The shaker I think sounds better on the stick effects or on the kick effects. On the head effects, it's very subtle and it's very, it's felt more than heard, if that makes sense. And it's the kind of thing that you don't realize is there until you take it away. And as far as the FX series as a whole, so the stick effects, the kick effects, and the head effects, I think it's a super cool idea, and the fact that everything works together is so interesting to me, and it's done in an elegant way where it's not all bulky and gets in the way of your playing, and the fact that it actually changes the sound and it sounds cool is just again super cool to me. So shout out to Jason over at Tru-Tuner for coming up with such a cool idea and executing it so well. So yeah, definitely stoked to check these out even more. Let me know what you think about them in the comments, but that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching.